It is a new week. Good morning, and you're welcome to Nigeria Now, showing on your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. Of course, it's Monday, and we have a couple of headlines this morning, of course, that are featured on the front pages of Nigerian newspapers. My name is Merciful Ajinemo. Joining us in the studio to analyze some stories this morning is Adebayo Fajime. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Very well.
All right, let's start from the Nigerian News Direct paper. And the big story is National Convention. APC new leaders set for 2023 election victory. We have three riders. The first, Adamu's emergent roadmap to party's unity, harmony. That's coming from Amechi. And Okorocha says new chairman focused politician, not push over. And Ayola says Omishore new NWC members right peg in right hole. That's on page 2 of the Nigerian News Direct paper. Of course, we've spoken about this APC convention for some months now. And finally, it was held on Saturday. What is your reaction?
Yeah, thumbs up for the party. They have, despite all manner of insinuations, speculations here and there, well, they had, we'll say, a hitch-free convention. And, with the caliber of people who emerge as the National Working Committee for the party, it's a good one for them. You see men of timber and caliber. The chairman of the party, Abdullahi Adamu, who has been in politics since 1977 and that's it now. So, the likes of Senator Yola Meshore from my state, and who emerges as national secretary of the party, and a host of others. You cannot erode their track record in Nigerian policy. So the concern just now is how they will be able to market, the party to Nigerians. Do you understand? In the forthcoming election, because that really matters. Their track record, have given them the opportunity to be in that position, but it is not position that makes the leader. It is the leader that makes the position. So, and looking at their track record, you see most of these people coming from the PDP, and these are the people who say, okay, who lambasted the PDP. So my concern now is just how they are going to convince Nigerians, in the forthcoming election, to vote for the APC, because these are the faces you see in the PDP that, they plunder the economy and all of that. So it's really going to be a tough, job for them. But looking at their track record, I want to believe, they have, the political wherewithal, to lead the party.
All right, you can get the details of that story on page 2 of the Nigerian News Direct paper. From the very top, 2 drug dealers excrete 165 wraps of cocaine in Abuja. That's on the front page right there. Continues on page 10. Oyetola Fayemi congratulates Omishore, other newly elected APC national officers. That's on page 15 of the Nigerian News Direct. In settlement, high level of unclaimed dividend. Of course, that's on page 17. And Dan Batas says NCC's experiences at ITU bolstering Nigeria's digital transformation. That is on the front page right there. OPEC Sec Gen lands UAE today for double global event. And governor's aide arrested for assaulting traffic warden. That's on page 3. 2023, Wike declares for presidential race. That's on page 5. We'll move straight up to the Daily Trust. And the big story there is workers groan as states cut salaries amid inflation. 3 riders. The first, rationed wages put civil servant on edge. Rationed wages put civil servant on edge. And then teachers, local government workers worst hit, and government blame dwindling FAAC allocation. That's on page 5 of the Daily Trust newspapers. We've seen this before, especially with Kaduna State. I remember when we were on this set here sometime last year, you spoke about the fact that the government is cutting some workers' salaries. Now we're seeing different states are cutting salaries amid the time where Nigerians are decrying the rate of inflation. What's your take on this?
This is not the best time, and Nigerian governments have no, the concerned states, have no justification, to cut people's salary, worker salary at a time like this that everybody is groaning, amidst the crawling economy. And if you look at it, this is going to increase the inequality in our society, to a high pedestal, because if you are cutting people's salary on the fact that what is coming from the center and what you are generating in the state is not as it's not what you expected, or is reducing to what you used to have before. So then what do you expect? If you hire people and you are not giving them enough remuneration, you are not giving them maximum encouragement, what are you encouraging? Of course you are encouraging corruption, because if people do not have any other means, they will have to resort to whatever way they can to make ends meet,
as long as food is on their table.
Yes. So to make ends meet and to be able to live up to the standard or to the expectation of their family. And here we are in a country whereby you have political office holders embezzling billions of naira, what they can never earn in the public's. I mean, if you are ordinarily doing your work, what they embezzle in 4 months. I mean, in 4 years, in 2 years, in 1 year. So it's just quite alarming. It's just quite alarming. But this also tells us that all these political leaders are just playing on our intelligence. These are people, before they come to power, they will tell you there are a lot of resources in our states. We are going to tap into this. We are going to tap into that. All of a sudden, they will just come to power. You end up you end up to know that they don't even do nothing, because if truly they are doing something, the thing they said they wanted to do when they were campaigning, they eventually are not doing anything. So that is the concern. So if they are doing this, and if this trend continues, in fact, I'm afraid Nigeria may end up going to another way. But this is not a good time, and in fact, it's not even a good approach at all. But this should tell them that there is more for them to do, rather than just you telling us that they are going to do this, they are going to do that. But I think with this, Nigerians also should wake up and open their eyes more, so in the forthcoming election.
Of course, that story is on the page 5 of the Daily Trust. And we see just underneath the picture of the day, Buhari defends choice of ex-PDP members in new APC Exco. That's on page 7 of the Daily Trust newspaper. On the first news, we see the big story, new APC chairman facing 15 billion naira fraud trial, PDP mocks. Of course, that's on the first newspaper for this morning. And we move over to, of course, the Inquirer, the Abuja Inquirer, the pulse of the city. The big story there says, Abuja missing pupils, we are finished. That's coming from Parent. Fear police compromise as proprietress released same day. Police to give update in the wake. And on Nigeria's Business Day paper, we see how Nigeria's oil sector walked to a cliff's edge. That continues on page 30 of the Business Day. And the last newspaper for this morning is the Blueprint. The big story there is, with Adamu's emergence as APC National Chair, Osinbajo, Tinubu, Umahi, others, presidential bid hots up. That's on page 6. And from the very top, normalcy returns to Kaduna Airport. Afenifere condemns attack. We have a couple of stories just underneath the picture of the day. Police arrest Torji's camp commander, 10 others in Zamfara. 2 drug dealers excrete 165 wraps of cocaine in NDLEA custody. Empty ATM machines, customers allege banks, POS owners connivance. And FBN Holdings win International Finance Award. And then we see a story here from Silver. Nigeria can become EU's alternative gas supplier. That's on page 24. We do know what is happening currently in the world and the global system, talking about the economy and how things are moving, just basically in the business sector, talking about the issue between Russia and Ukraine, how it has affected the supply of things, especially gas. What do you make of this statement of Silver?
Well, it is not today, but sometimes you just get exasperated, analyzing or talking about Nigerian issue and all of that. So development or growth in whatever sector is never an utopian quest. But what has made it to be like that on this part of the world is our insincerity in the leadership system. It is not today that we have seen government telling us we will build refineries, we do this. A nation without constant or vibrant or functioning refinery, how would they be able to meet up with that expectation, for crying out loud? So it's not an utopian quest, but are they sincere? Can we? It's not as if we cannot do it. We can do it, but we don't have a very functioning institution, a very functioning structure or system that can make this thing work. You have power, you don't have constant power, and billions of dollars is being pumped into that system annually. You end up, paying for darkness. You don't even see what you are paying for, and a lot of that you see education sector and all other sectors like that. So it's not as if it's an utopian quest, but we don't have a functioning and a very strong institution that can drive this or that can make it work. So it's not as if we cannot do it, but I don't see it coming to fruition.
All right. Of course, that's on the page 24 of the Blueprint newspaper. And then we see NEDC develops master plan on closure of IDPs camps by 2030. Of course, that's the stories on the front pages of the newspapers for this morning. Thank you, Adebayo, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you, viewers. Don't forget, you can always, grab all the updates on our website, www.tostvnetwork.com, and our social media handle at TOSTV Network across all social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Thank you again for joining us. Have a wonderful day. My name is Merciful Ajinamo. See you tomorrow.